Do that.
All right, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of FIYAfadeaway. We're back because the NBA season is about to start. I am one of your co-hosts, LK the God, the Deity, the Mogul. As you can see, I have Five Squad merch on my forehead. It's a t-shirt, everybody. It's not a bandana. Bandana's coming soon. But if you want some merch, just holler at me, LK the God, and we will direct you on how to get it. Get that. And if you see us on YouTube, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. If you're on Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star review and comment, and 5 stars and all that good shit. It helps our algorithms. But I am here with my co-host C Jizzle, live from Liberty Sizzle, aka Puffco Poppy. What we puffing on today, kid?
What up, y'all? Puffing on the same stuff, man. We on this MPX live rousing kick, and it's smooth, man. I'm still on it, still finishing that up. So, yeah. What we talking about, man? What we getting into?
All right, before the NBA season start, we had the preseason. You had a couple good looks at a couple good teams. I mean, all the teams. You had a couple good looks at all the teams, that's coming up, and you got a good look at the rookies that's coming up and the acquisitions and all the trades and stuff. How do you feel so far?
Preseason basketball doesn't mean too much. Like, say, you're just kind of looking for chemistry. I mean, seeing people testing out lineups and stuff like that. Like I said, most of the starters aren't playing more than like 20, 25 minutes. So it ain't nothing too serious. I mean, we've seen Anthony Bennett cook in preseason before, so it's nothing to overreact upon. Anything you see in preseason. This ain't the real
Jesus.
deal. But like I said, it's good to like try out like you said, new people and new places. Like we got to see Westbrook turn the ball over like 7 times in like 10 minutes, and like we got to see some of the rookies. Like say I'm an OKC fan, so seeing Josh Giddey in action and things like that is interesting. But I mean, like I said, it's still too early to tell for anything. It's nothing to overreact about anything you see in preseason. I mean, honestly, it's just like preseason footballs. Score don't even matter, dog. So we'll see what happens when the games count.
So who do you expect to see the most out of in the upcoming season? Somebody that's been, probably, misunderstood or mismanaged or not utilized enough. Who do you think is going to fill that role this
Yeah, if
season?
you can go on that description, then I've been a Mo Bamba guy for a while. He's had a strong preseason, and
Mm.
I think just the fit and the coaching, and he's needed to put on some weight, so he's like finally putting on that weight, and I'm excited to see what he can do. Like he's a very intriguing prospect. So well, not a prospect anymore, but a player in the league. So I think with some more minutes, like I said, and if they can figure out what to do with him and Wendell Carter Jr., I mean, I think that could be he could fit that description of a breakout player if he gets the minutes and finds the role there in Orlando or elsewhere if he gets traded. Because like I said, they just got a bunch of assets in Orlando. They don't really have a plan. It doesn't look like.
Right, fuck no. They haven't had a plan since Tracy left, to be honest with you. How do you feel about the Kyrie news? The Kyrie debacle.
Yeah, it's wild, dog. This man like cucked his whole coaching staff, bro. Like this man is just like he's just not playing home games. Like y'all just gonna allow that, bro? Like, I mean, I understand. Like again, like I had a whole thing on my other show about like I actually somewhat agree with Kyrie, not on like all the hotep shit, but just like on the actual vaccine mandates and like forcing it upon people. But at the same time, like all your teammates did that shit, bro. Like billions of people have gotten this vaccine and they're cool. They're fine. 95% of the league is vaccinated, son. So like I don't at this point it does seem like a slap in the face to your teammates because your teammates might not have all wanted to be vaccinated either, but they made that sacrifice to try to win a championship
Yeah.
and to go all in, and you're not willing to make that same sacrifice is basically saying like I'm more important than y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
my principal stance is more important than y'all's. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what will rub me the wrong way. So it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I totally defend your freedom to not get the vaccine if that's what you truly believe. But like, we trying to win a championship here, bro. And you make you know what I'm saying priorities. Like it is what it is. Like if
I
you
feel I feel the sorriest for Steve Nash to be a fresh coach and have to deal with like three of the most polarizing NBA players all on the same team, and one of them is Kyrie Irving. Like, you still have to answer for all the shit that's going on, all the shit that he's doing, all the shit that KD's doing, all the shit that Harden's doing. Like, that's a lot that's a lot to be inundated with as a year 2 coach already.
It's the job. Like he even said, it was white privilege is the reason he got the job. Like he's never been a coach before and got the premier job coaching star players. So that's the job, bro. Like that's what you signed up for. Like that's what they, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear any complaints about that, bro. Like you were a first time head coach that got probably one of the most desirable jobs, like say coaching 3 future Hall of Famers. So like I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, it's an unprecedented situation because even Wiggins shut the fuck up and got his shot, and even though he's complaining about it. But
Wiggins
like,
got shot.
yeah, but at the same time, for the vaccine, like, if this man's not playing home games, bro, like Kyrie is already unreliable. He's already only good for about half the season injury wise. So
Yeah,
like,
he does get hurt too. He gets hurt a lot. As what people don't want to
yeah,
say, he gets hurt a
I'm
lot.
just trying to think of like what that does to your team chemistry when every other night a nigga's gonna be out and for his own personal reasons, even though he's fully healthy and he's just like not going to war with y'all every night. I think that's going to be an issue for your locker room. And then he destroyed his own trade value by saying, "I'm gonna retire if you trade me." So basically, telling the rest of the league, "Don't trade for me," because like I'm not playing for your sorry ass franchises. Is basically what he put out there. So even if the Nets were trying to flip him for a Ben Simmons or for another for Dame or something like that, that's it's dead. No team's gonna take that risk because they see a nigga as weird as Kyrie is acting. They believe him
Yeah.
if they say he gonna retire and walk away from hoops in his prime. Like, I mean, I would believe him, like, because he's too unpredictable. I don't know what
Might
he's
as
thinking or
well.
what he's doing. I don't know what backwater YouTube channels this man's watching right now.
Man, if I don't know, I just that's what I said on the other show when I recorded with you. Like, I just want to see what the end game is for Kyrie and Adam Silver. Like, what is the ultimate medium? Like, y'all got to come to an accord on this. Like, somebody has to make a decision. Like, okay, maybe we could compromise and you play the mask on, some shit like that. I don't know.
I mean, it's not Adam Silver though because it's the state of New York.
Oh
Like I
yeah,
said,
New York.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like the NBA apparently has been extremely accommodating, to the PA and to the players that don't feel comfortable with that. But it's not up to the NBA; it's up to the state of New York. That's why it's only home games. Like Kyrie can play according to the NBA, just not according to the state of fucking New York
Just
or
after
in
games.
California right now, I believe. So like that's what that is. So that's just more politics spilling into sports because like so that's more of liberal cities versus conservative cities and fucking policy in terms of COVID. So yeah, that's again for the people. It's like I don't want politics in my shit. Politics is in everything. Like you can't
It
avoid that
is.
shit, bro. Like you can ignore it, but then that's just gonna give someone else an opportunity to control it. So it's like you might as well be aware of it because it's just gonna happen one way or another. If you're not into the politics of whatever, then someone else is, and they're gonna be the
Yeah.
ones making the decision. So
Yeah.
like I sympathize because politics fucking sucks and it's depressing, but like just putting earmuffs on and ignoring it is gonna spill into the things you love, just like this COVID shit is spilling into our sports, where it's just like I just want to see niggas hoop. I just want to see niggas hoop, bro, and like and all this extra stuff is in the way. So and I know KD is tired of getting asked about it. Like I said, I
Yeah.
know all his teammates are fucking tired of hearing about Kyrie. What is Kyrie gonna do? So like I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, you're gonna see it unfold. I think Kyrie's in game is I'm not getting fucking vaccinated. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. Adam Silver's in game is like I want the players vaccinated, but if not, you know what I'm saying? Like
We gonna
you
rock.
gotta at least get tested.
Yeah.
Like I get it. Like I get not trusting the government, but at the same time, like your teammates have all made a sacrifice, and I'm sure all your teammates weren't comfortable getting the vaccine either. You know what I'm saying? Like Kyrie is not the world doesn't revolve around Kyrie. He's not the only person that is uncomfortable with the vaccine. So for him to make it like he's bigger than the team is the only issue I have. It's not even like his decision per se. It's just how he's going about it.
No, I would get vaccinated. I would get vaccinated just for the simple fact that they have to stick that long ass motherfucking white Q-tip joint down your nose every day. No, that's enough for me to just get one shot. I'm cool. We're good. Um, what team got the highest free agency grade from you in the
I
offseason?
mean, if we're just talking strictly free agency, I'll probably do the Bulls because the Bulls went all in free agency. Like, I mean, They put their balls on the table and emptied their bank accounts. So like they did every. I mean, and they look great in the preseason. Like I said, it's just preseason,
they
so
was
it ain't nothing to
blasting
go.
teams to fuck. If you're not supposed to say anything for the preseason, they was blasting niggas and dunking and everything. I was like, this might
so
be
that's
a
why I was
problem.
just like, I mean, it's something, but it's not anything to be like, okay, they're fucking gonna win the East or something. But at the same time, I mean, they spent the money, and if those pieces can gel, and it looks like they have some decent chemistry early on, like Lonzo looks amazing if he's still, shooting like that in the regular season, and that's not crazy because he was shooting pretty damn well last season too. So it's like people see Lonzo ripping threes and like, oh my god, like he was doing that last year. Like this is what they pay. That's why he got paid $85 million or whatever to go to Chicago. Like he can play. So like if you get him and Levine, DeRozan, you got Vucevic. You've got you still like got pieces, holdover pieces like Kobe White and Patrick Williams. Like you got something there like that. That is intriguing. And if you can, like I said, it's more about the chemistry because it's a lot of former All Stars. But at the same time, like it looks good. It looks good so far. So I would have to say the Bulls right now look like the early winners of free agency.
I was so shocked that the Pelicans let Lonzo walk. Like for what?
I don't think it was I think it's more of a fit issue for them, like I said, because like Lonzo, they had him in a role of, and he said it too, like it was kind of like shaded Stan Van Gundy, but he's like, he wasn't really used as a point guard last year. He was used as just like a spot up shooter, and he's just like, and he did well in that role. Like I said, he was pretty damn good as a spot up shooter, but like
I
Lonzo
didn't
can
know.
do
I
more
didn't
than that.
know. Yeah, because Stan, he was running Bledsoe and Lonzo out there at the same time. Like that was
Yeah, and
weird.
Lonzo was playing off ball more than anything.
Yeah.
So it's just like he said he wanted to come to Chicago because give him a chance to actually be a point guard again. And it's just like, and he was like, yeah, I'll do whatever the coach asked me to last year or whatever. That's usually a little shady. It's like you kind of had me out of position doing some shit I don't really do, but like I'm gonna do it for the team. And he, made the most of it. But at the same time, yeah, like I think it's more of a fit thing. And Lonzo, like in that role, and I guess in that system, like I wouldn't have paid him either if that's what you're going to use him. If that's how you're going to use him, it's like it's not worth it. But like for Chicago, if they're going to let the reins off of him a little bit and let him actually be a point guard, which he is a good point guard, like
It's great.
yeah, like yeah. So I think it's more of a fit thing. You know what I'm saying? And then like they're banking on what Lonzo could be because he's still a young player and he's still going to improve. So like they're trying to, they're paying him for what they think he's going to be for them and not what he was for the Pelicans. Because if it was for the Pelicans last year, he played well, but I don't know if he paid like $85 million well. You know what I'm saying?
I like the fit of having a young core of, I guess it's revisionist history anyway, but I like Lonzo, BI, and Zion on the same team. Like, cause they was all young and maybe they could have, gelled a little bit more and grew up together, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it just didn't fit with Lonzo as the third wheel in that type of situation because then they wanted to use BI and Zion in a lot more pick and roll situations, like
Right.
and it like using, Zion like initiating the pick and roll or, screening at the same time. But it's like Lonzo wasn't in that. He was the nigga in the corner standing and waiting to hit the three. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so like if you're just gonna use them like that, you can find a million players that just spot up shooters or just 3-and-D. But like you're gonna make use of Lonzo's talent, his passing, his IQ, his all around game. Like, yeah, I think Chicago's a good spot. Like they really haven't had that consistent point guard play. That's been an issue for them for a minute. Like I said, I like Kobe White, but he's not been consistent enough as more than a microwave bench kind of guy. And then they just haven't had it. Levine's not a real point guard, so you don't really want him in that situation. So now you have a real point guard. He can really focus on scoring and not, having to drill through double teams and try to do a Bradley Beal impression every night. You know what I'm saying? Like Levine, he can just do his thing. And Levine's gotten better every season too. So he continues to improve and be an all-star level player, in my opinion.
Speaking of Bradley Beal, talk to me about the Wiz. What do you think of the new look Wizards?
They're interesting. Like I said, I mean, I'm not in love with some of the pieces they got back, but at the same time, like I think it was still a good trade for them to get off of Westbrook. Like I'm not a big Kuzma guy, never been a Kuzma guy, and certainly from the preseason, he looks like ass cheeks. So, but at the same time, again, it's early.
I think this is his last stop until he turns into the 2022 version of Harrison Barnes and send him out Siberia and or y'all. They always want to send them to y'all.
Harrison Barnes still making good money starting on a team. I mean, it's Sacramento or whatever, but he's
Sacramento.
He's still
It's
still playing. I mean, Harrison Barnes is a good player. He's just not like what they thought he would be from the hype, coming out of college and high school and whatever. But
I remember when Golden State had to make a decision between Harrison Barnes and Draymond. I mean, of course, they made the best decision, but I remember that shit. I was like, damn, which one of these people is going to start? Like, I kept thinking, like, are they going to stay? They both going to stay now. I remember that shit.
I mean, like I said, Harrison Barnes is a good player. He's just not like the hype that was surrounding him when he was coming up as a prospect kind of consumed him. So it's just like, it's always going to be slightly disappointing because he was kind of like Andrew Wiggins. Like, Andrew Wiggins is not a bad player, but he was supposed to be like greatness. And then so when you see him just be like pretty good,
for
it's
Kevin
just,
Love.
like, disappointing. Yeah.
That trade makes perfect sense now. That trade makes perfect sense now. The Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love trade back in the day. All right.
Yeah, like he's not a bad player. It's just expectations, man. It's like where these people get drafted and stuff like that. You expect a certain amount or just a certain level of talent. You see Andrew Wiggins, like all that athleticism, all that, and you're just like, damn, dog, you're not better than this. Or we're just more consistent.
He might be the personification of flashes. Like, you're going to get a flash
it's not even flash because he's
night.
Consistently like above average. He's just not the star that people, you know what I'm saying? He's just not a star. He hasn't put that
you're going to get a
and he's
flash.
Still not like super old. It's still not even
night.
too late. But at the same time, it's just like at this point, it seems like he is what he is at this point.
Yeah.
Which is like a pretty good player. Like pretty good. Like could be like a third best player on a championship team or fourth, but like
just can't be the second best player on the team. No, you can't be Jaylen Brown. I'm sorry. Speaking of Jaylen Brown, let's talk about the Celtics. They just got Dennis Schroeder. I guess they're going to run small from now on. Robert Williams is really good. I really like that guy. Talk to me about the Celtics.
They'll be interesting. Like I said, I'm not been a fan of kind of how they've kind of been stagnant, just kind of like waiting for Brown and Tatum to take them to the next level. And it's like, those are two good building blocks. But after this year, if they don't go anywhere, I would revisit that. Honestly, obviously they're going to keep Tatum, but
that's not
the Tatum Brown thing might be a little redundant just with their skill sets.
Oh, you think they're going to break them up early? This early?
I don't know. How is it early? How what is this year?
It's 4? Like 4.
Yeah, like I mean, how early is it? And then again, I always ask what is the end game? Or what are you going to put around those two to win a championship if those are your two? If not, I mean, eventually the Wizards might have to get off Bradley Beal, and him and Tatum are best friends. So if I would take a Jaylen Brown package for Bradley Beal. It would need more than Brown, of course, but I would take a package surrounding him if it comes to that for the Wiz. But like I said, you talk about the Wiz. The Wiz will be interesting. Like they have depth. Like I said, Montrezl Harrell looks amazing for them right now, and so it's no guarantee Bradley Beal's going to want out. They could have a surprising season. Dinwiddie looks really good, but yeah, like I said, I don't know how Kuzma fits into it. Once they get Rui back, that'll help a lot too. So I think the Wizards will be improved from what they were last year, honestly.
Yeah, they got. Come on, man. The Wizards got. They got
depth at least.
Yeah, they got depth. They remind me of the Nuggets before they got Jokic and Murray. Like, don't you remember the Nuggets? They always had like good players. They all had good. Okay, the Hawks. What was the fucking 08 Hawks or something? That they all made All-Star. Yeah.
Al Horford Hawks or whatever. Yeah.
You got a bunch of good players that don't really have a superstar per se. But that Jaylen Brown. That Jaylen Brown for Bradley Beal, that's kind of
intriguing. It comes to that for both teams, like I said, because both teams seem like they're kind of spinning their wheels and not really going anywhere. So it's like, I mean, sometimes you got to shake it up. And like I said, I mean, what's the end game? That's all I say. When I see a team like Boston, I was just like, all right, are they a championship team this year? I don't think so. I don't think they're beating a healthy Brooklyn or the Bucks or maybe even the Lakers if Westbrook, can gel with them. So it's like, I mean, so what is the end game? Like, are you just going to just hold on to Jason Tatum until you might want to leave, or you're gonna win a championship there? Like, I don't know. I would be thinking about doing something. But like I said, I think Schroeder's a sneaky good pickup though. Schroeder's a good player. I mean, everyone's ragging on him.
Thank God they actually got a point guard because it was looking sad. It was looking like fucking
it was looking sad.
Marcus Smart was running the point. It was looking bad out there.
they was gonna have to call John Wall.
Oh, I
John Wall
mean,
still
hey,
available.
Wall needs a home. I mean, he's sitting on the bench in Houston.
Houston.
You ain't starting over them niggas. That's just not gonna happen. Matter of fact, let's talk about Houston. They new rookie. They got Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green. You saw him play?
Oh yeah, I mean, so I looked a little bit of the preseason. Like I said, I saw all Jalen Green's games with the Ignite and the G League. So like I said, I'm a big Jalen Green fan. Houston should be extremely fun to watch. I don't know if they're gonna win more than like 20 games, but they're gonna fucking be amazingly entertaining in those losses.
They're gonna hoop.
Because that's a hell of a backcourt talent wise. Kevin Porter Jr. Like I said, I've been talking about him for years since he's come out of USC. Is like one of the most talented prospects I've ever seen, and like what he like when he went to the G League, that man made the G League look like middle schoolers. Like he was in that jump. Like I don't belong here. You guys are trash. And he was in that jump toying with niggas, just toying with them. Yeah. Then comes up, gets called up to Houston, drop a 50 bomb on him, plays great. So like Kevin Porter has insane. I know everyone's talking about Jalen Green, but like Kevin Porter has that level of talent, if not more, as well. So you putting that backcourt together, and if they can gel and grow, like that's crazy exciting, man. Like that's a lot. Kevin Porter has James Harden level like skill, like ceiling, but also like elite athleticism that James Harden doesn't have. So think of like James Harden, but but with like a Zach LaVine type of athlete with that skill set. Like it's crazy. Like the step back game, like the ability to pass, the ability to run point guard, the ability to score 50 in the NBA game at whatever 20 whatever years old. It's crazy, man. And Jalen Green's got that nuclear scoring ability and athleticism as well. So like that's crazy backcourt that I wouldn't want any parts of for real, trying to guard them. In terms of defense, I mean, they might not be guarding anyone. So that might be the issue. Like I said, I'm not sure how many games the Houston Rockets are going to win, but I will be tuning in to see them lose.
Well, can they do the can they do the Portland thing where they got two short guards and they just point you to death?
Yeah, but I mean, neither one of them are short though, so it's like it's not even that. It's like that's a pretty sizable backcourt because Kevin Porter Jr. is like 6'6" at least, or 6'5", 6'6", and then Jalen Green's about the same height. So that's pretty tall backcourt. I mean, there's no one small in that jump. Kevin Porter is not even like a real point guard. He's one of these like Luka James Harden situations where it's like
Oh shit.
his usage rate is so high and he's such a good passer. It's just like he can play point guard. He's just that good. He could just fucking. He
can be a three, but he's a one.
Yeah, he's a 3-through-1 basically. One of those Luka Harden situations where it's like they're not really a point guard, but functionally they're the point guard.
They can do anything. Yeah. All right. How you feel about Kyle Lowry forcing his way out of Toronto to the Heat?
Yeah, I don't think forced way out. He just left. I mean, it's cool. I just don't know what the Heat are doing. I mean, I get what they're doing. I mean, I see what they're doing. They're going for the tough veterans. Adding him and PJ Tucker, showing that up. You know, they like their vets. They're gonna go with the experience team. But like, I just don't think that's good enough. Like, I mean, like that's cool. It's just like I see the angle you're going for. Maybe Tyler Hero takes another step and becomes. But I mean, I just don't see that team as being good enough. But they definitely could. They're always going to be hanging around and tough though. Like I said, that's always a tough out. That's not a team you want to play a 7-game series against. That's a lot of tough veterans. That's a lot of defense tough defense you're going to be going against. But I don't know if they have the firepower. I mean, Lowry's an upgrade, but like the Lowry Goran Dragic swap is not. I don't think that's a huge upgrade. Like it's an upgrade for sure. Like Kyle Lowry's better than Goran Dragic, but like how much better is he? Like get you past another round in the playoffs better? Like I don't know.
Probably not
at this point.
I feel like for this team to be successful, he has to take another step. Tyler Hero has to take another step for this team to be successful, in my opinion. Because he has the green light besides, Duncan Robinson. Jimmy Butler really doesn't want to score that much. Kyle Lowry, not really going to get that many points out of him. So it got to be Hero.
Yeah, it'll be a balanced effort, but yeah, the key is going to be him. And like they're going to need like a centerpiece scorer. Like I said, Jimmy can score, but like that's not like he's not like that type of bucket. You know what I'm saying? Where he's gonna be focused on scoring, just finding his own shot like that.
He's cool
So
with
like said,
scoring 12 points in the playoffs. Like he ain't really trying to score
yeah,
like that.
any game. Like Jimmy Butler is not like about numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he's about wins, and he's about bringing a certain type of brand of basketball, which is why, like I said, Kyle Lowry and PJ Tucker makes a ton of sense personality wise for the Heat. Like I see those are the type of niggas that they love. You know what I'm saying? Hard nosed. That's like I said, they're not going to be easy out when in the playoffs, but like I don't see them beating Milwaukee or Brooklyn if Kyrie can play in half the games or whatever. So that's when it's going to get real tricky. Come playoff time, this nigga still missing home games because that could be an issue. Like
In the playoffs,
yeah,
yeah.
that could change a series. If Kyrie can't play home games. So yeah, just something to think about.
What credence do you put to the rumblings about Big Cat wanting out of Minnesota? I mean, not wanting out, but people have been saying that it might be time for him to, move on.
Minnesota is just one of the worst franchises that anybody would want to get out of there. Like, I feel bad for anyone who is stuck there. They just fired their president of basketball operations or whatever for having like an affair with somebody or
Gerson
like some drama.
Rojas. Yeah.
Yeah, like he over here, they bringing his personal drama, getting fired for like I don't know what's going on, bro. Other than that team has been ass for as long as I can remember. Like honestly, like even the Kevin Garnett days was like the peak Timberwolves, and he had to get his ass out of there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Chubby Kevin Love days. Like they weren't winning anything. He was just racking up numbers. Like it's not like they were good. So it's like that has been a basketball hellscape. And I feel bad for Anthony Edwards and fucking stuck there. His talent getting wasted up
Yeah.
there. And like say Anthony Towns, so like get all of them out of there, move that team or something. Like I don't know what's going on because players don't want to go to that cold ass city. People don't want to be there, and they're obviously dysfunctionally ran because like look at them, like they brought in D'Angelo Russell, they burned off all these assets. Like they have assets though, like you said, they got they got Russell, they got Anthony Edwards, because they've got the number one pick like every damn year because they suck.
D'Angelo Russell could start on any team I'm the president of. I love D'Angelo Russell. I don't understand why this team is not working. They have so much talent.
It's because D'Angelo Russell doesn't play anything resembling defense, like at all. Like he's got insane talent offensively. Like he can do
Right,
anything
yeah.
on offense. Like there's nothing that the man can get you a bucket. Not great in the flow of the offense all the time either, as we learned in Golden State. But at the same time, like his talent is undeniable. I mean, D'Angelo Russell can get a bucket, but at the same time, like, can you do that in the service of winning? There's a lot of small things the niggas have to do on the basketball court to be a winning player, and like it takes a transition. Devin Booker was a bucket, but he wasn't a winning player until Chris Paul got there and they tightened up those little things. Like the same thing happened to like pretty much anywhere Chris Paul goes and gets the young players right. But yeah,
Hey,
like
didn't Book put up like 70 points in a loss before?
yeah, like yeah. Used to always
I
go
remember
that. They
that
was all
game.
celebrating. It's like you don't celebrate. I don't care how many points I scored in a loss, bro. Like
It doesn't
that's even
matter.
more embarrassing. Yeah, this is more embarrassing that you scored so much and still lost. They lost by like 12 or something too. It wasn't even like a buzzer beater that they lost by. It's like y'all got
Right,
handled by double figures in this game.
right.
Like that team was comfortably whipping you.
Would
Like
nobody talk about Wilt's 100-point game if they lost that game? I'm sorry.
yeah, it wouldn't matter. It'd just be like you just bunch of garbage time points that didn't matter because like
Yeah, he
they
went
lost.
crazy and
Yeah.
got dubbed anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I feel about D'Angelo Russell because I like his game too offensively, but then you watch him on the other side, and you're just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like you got to play both sides of the ball, man. Like, and you're not James Harden. Like, I mean, there's certain players, and I mean, even he in the playoffs will play both sides of the ball. So like, yeah, dog, like they're just a mess, man. Like, I would trade anyone I can to get out of there, man. But again, like, I don't know what they're doing or what their plan is. Like you're just gonna waste the good years of superstar players. It seems to be the only purpose of the Timberwolves lately.
All right. Who is your early predictions for most improved player? You don't have to put anything adamant in. You don't have to nail it down. But who are you looking at to be the MIP this year?
I don't know. This could be a lot of interesting candidates for most improved. I didn't really have this on my radar. Uh, I think it can take a leap.
Who's gonna take a leap? I have a candidate.
I mean, who you got?
All right. If it works out good, I kind of ashamed to say this. Victor Oladipo. I'm
Yeah,
going
that
with
could be seen, or maybe like comeback player. Like I don't know, like most improved. He's already been pretty improved
Oh,
player,
he's
but
already
yeah,
been to the mountaintop already.
yeah. But those injuries. This is kind of a bounce back year. He's trying to prove to everybody that he can be healthy, so he can get a big contract next year. So yeah, he definitely could be an X factor. I kind of forget that he was in there in Miami too, so he could definitely be a dark horse candidate, not just for their their championship hopes, but he could do that. I think maybe Rui Hachimura when he comes back. I think with Westbrook being gone, his usage will go up a little bit higher. And I think he's been improving pretty nicely every season. I think this could be a leap year for him, especially seeing how he was playing in the Olympics and stuff like that. So, I'm rooting for Rui to take another step as long as that jumper keeps improving. I mean, that's the key to unlocking his game. So, he's out for personal reasons right now, so I'm not quite sure what's going on with him. But hopefully, like I said, it's once he gets back 100%, I'd like to see Rory back in the lineup and see what he could do without Westbrook there, because Westbrook usage rate is so damn high.
Yeah, I'm also looking at the newly minted $1 million contract winner. What is it? 120 M's, something like that. $100 million contract for MPJ. Might be the
Yeah,
MIP too.
yeah, he's on a great track. He's steadily improving as he should. He's one of the most talented young offensive players in the game right now.
A
So
beautiful
he's
stroke. Pause, but
yeah,
beautiful
like he can
stroke.
get a bucket, and he's getting more consistent every year. And
Mhm.
Michael Porter Jr.'s talent level was never in question. This man was just always fucking hurt in college. He played like 1-2 games before he fucking fucked his spine up and shit. So like, I mean, now that
Damn.
he's healthy, him going, he would have been a top 3 pick if he had stayed healthy. I mean, that's how good he was, and the hype surrounding him when he was coming out was
Mhm.
crazy. But he just got hurt. That's all it
Mhm.
was. So like, which he got drafted hurt. They sat him for the first year, and Michael, this is always what he was expected to be. He just had to be patient. He was a project
Mhm.
because he was injured and he's raw. So, like, as you see, they're polishing him up. Denver was a great spot for him because they're great with their player development and, slow developing players like that. And yeah, it's a great spot for him. I think that's a great core for them. If with Murray and he's going to be the key for how far that team can go, honestly, because you pretty much know what you got in Murray and Jokic, but they need that third person to be more consistent, step up.
Right. All right. All right, Jizzle. You being our rookie expert, who is your early predictions for Roy? Will it be Young Cade? Does Young Cade have it sewn up? Is it completely his, or do you have a dark horse?
Numbers wise, this is gonna be interesting because I'm like all in on Scotty Barnes right now. Like I saw that first
Hey,
preseason game, dog.
Scotty.
I saw the first preseason game and I was like, yeah, he the truth, bro. Like Scotty Barnes is. I see why the Toronto made that pick, man. Like I'm all in on Scotty Barnes. I don't think his numbers might not be as eye popping just because the type of player he is, though. So I think Cade and Jalen Green have a great chance because they're on ass cheek teams and they're gonna have high usage and
Yeah,
they're
they gonna
more
hoop.
scorers. So like they're gonna get shots up and they're gonna have opportunities to, and they're probably gonna be losing a fuck ton of games too. So like they're gonna have more opportunities to run up the numbers. But I'm all in on Scotty Barnes. I said one preseason game and I'm a believer.
Any
I'm so sad that
Jalen
my
Suggs, look out. Jalen
oh
Suggs.
Suggs is good. Like I'm it ain't nothing against Suggs. Suggs is he's in the mix too. You never know. Like
Mm-hmm.
say he'll have plenty of opportunity in Orlando, but I still think there are other players they want to get looks at. They still got like Cole Anthony and other players that they're gonna want to get the ball in their hands. But yeah, I'm all in on Scotty Barnes. Josh Giddey looks good too for the Thunder. I'm not gonna fake, even though like I'm not sure I'm still with that pick, and I'm not sure I'm a Giddey guy yet. But
A
Josh
giddy
Giddey,
guy.
yeah, he does look like unseasoned LaMelo Ball. He's it's he's LaMelo Ball with no hot sauce, no seasoning salt.
Hey, I know we're not supposed to pay attention to any 2K stats, but they have Evan Mobley potential at an A+. I'm kind of optimistic about that. How you feel
Yeah, I
about Evan
mean,
Mobley?
Like his potential is an A+. Like, yeah, Evan Mobley is
What
it's a terrible fit
what
in
position would you put
Cleveland.
him at?
He's just a big. I mean, it depends on what you have on your team. He can play 4 or 5. Like, I mean, I'll probably stick with him with the 4 until he puts on a little bit more weight in the league, and probably use him more as a 4, especially since they have Jared Allen there, so he could easily play they can interchangeably just play 4 or 5. So it's just like I said, it depends on the fit, but that's how good he is. He's an interchangeable big. Like he's a big that does everything you want a modern big to do. He's got like enough of a touch on his stroke where you could see like, okay, maybe in a couple of years you work on that 3, he could be a reliable 3-point shooter. He's already decent mid range. He's your run and gun lob dude. He's a defensive eraser where it's just like, oh yeah, like he's blocking fucking everything at the rim, which is
Right.
what you want in terms of rim protection. And he could switch out because he's so athletic. He could switch. So like that's what you want in a modern big. He does do everything that you need to do for a modern big. I mean, there's nothing that he can't really do that you want your big to do in the modern NBA. All he has to do is just get better and more consistent at it all.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I don't like the fit in Cleveland, but like I mean, I don't know what the fuck Cleveland's doing anyway. So like they're just
nobody
collecting
knows.
shit.
Yeah, they got Darius Garland, fucking Colin Sexton. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
they're
not a
going to keep
Sexton
both
guy.
of them.
Like
you
yeah.
what's wrong with Sexton?
No, I'm saying Sexland.
Sexton. Yeah, that's that small
the backcourt
guards.
together. Them, yeah. I just don't see that working out long term. Like, I mean, like they're fine players, but like I just don't like the fit. I don't like any of the fit in Cleveland. I would just be trading shit to try to get better fit. But like they have players at least. Actually. That's the first part of the battle in today's NBA though. Like you at least got to collect players, and then at least you have assets to work with.
I can see the Sexland duo breaking up because people do think that like Darius Garland is the future. I don't know because I haven't watched enough Cleveland games, but you know, hey, it could work out.
They're just too small as a backcourt. Like I just don't like the overlap of their skill sets. I think it's too much overlap on what they do. I like Colin Sexton of how hard he plays, but he's not an efficient player. He's not like a super smart player in terms of like decision making all the time. So like he's super frustrating sometimes. He has some Westbrook in him.
Dog, why does he remind me of Patrick Beverley for some reason? I don't know why he reminds me of Patrick Beverley.
He plays defense like a dog. Like he's got that dog mentality, especially defensively, which is why I love him. But at the same time, like I say, he's got some Westbrook in him offensively, which is why I don't always love him. You know, like I said, he's come along like with his jumper too. So like I'm not counting him out. I just don't like the fit of him and Garland. That's it. And I don't really like Sexton kind of has that tweener issue where he's like, you're kind of small to be like a 2, but you're not efficient enough to be a point guard. So you're kind of like, I don't want you to have that heavy usage that he has because like when the ball's in his hands too much, good shit does not happen all the time.
So he's like,
and then Garland is just not consistent enough. Like Garland's still young, but at the same time, like he's just not consistent enough. That's all it is. Like he's good, but he's just a talent. He's a theoretical talent still right now. I need more consistency from that backcourt.
All right. What else is there to talk about before the season starts? This is a preseason preview of Fire Fadeaway. Damn. Ashley, go check out the new episode of Fire Films. We all reviewed What If. It's I forgot what grade we gave that show, but it was pretty sturdy. You know, it's the McDonald's of TV and culture right now, you know. Pretty sturdy, you know what I'm saying? What other teams did we not talk about? What other important NBA news came out? Anything else, CJ?
I don't think it's anything major other than like a healthcare fraud or whatever. I didn't see
the yes, Jesus.
Ex-players about to go to jail or some shit.
Are they going to go to jail?
I don't know. I didn't see all the details. I just saw like the list of players, and it was like some healthcare fraud issues.
If you guys don't know, there has been some healthcare fraud issues for a couple retired players, such as Big Baby Davis, Tony Allen, Sebastian Telfair, I think, some other names, but it was like for $4 million, and they tried to bust it down allegedly. So if they get any time behind that, I hope they get free because jail is not bueno. But Jesus Christ, CJ, what is going on with these guys, man?
The money runs out, man, once you get out the league. And then this is
Damn.
also a problem just overall in America. Like people, it always goes back to like we're the only developed country that has a healthcare system that is run for profit and not for healthcare. So like
Bingo.
this is niggas wouldn't have to do healthcare fraud if we actually had like universal healthcare like most countries that are rich.
Yeah.
Like actually every country that is rich has some form of universal healthcare where like
Hey, they talk shit about
niggas,
Obama, but we had free healthcare when fucking Obama was in office. Okay, let's talk
it still
about
wasn't
that.
free.
Yeah, well, kind of. It was free if you had it. Now it only cost you money if you didn't have it. Okay.
But like I said, that's the bigger issue, I think, is like the fact that stories like that only exist in America because like we're the only place where you can't like go to the doctor when you get sick because like that shit is extremely expensive.
And you can't go to the doctor if you already owe that doctor money already. So if you're bleeding out in his office, you're usually gonna have to bleed out in his office until you pay that $500 deductible, Duke.
Yeah, it's a uniquely American experience to just be to
Land
deal
of the
with
free,
that.
home
So
of the brave. Hey.
that's always when I see stories like that. That's the first thing I think of. Is like, why are we even doing this? Like, this is so unnecessary. When like we like other countries, like there's a story like this is not to get too far away from the hoop. So like they're dragging on AOC because of her vote on Israel. Like we're giving Israel money for like stupid unnecessary shit, and it's just like Israel has universal health care. We giving countries money when niggas here don't even have health care. Like I don't want to see a penny of our money going nowhere else. Like niggas need help here, dog. He's
Man.
giving money to Kazakhstan and shit, where it's like, bro, like niggas can't see the doctor in Detroit. Like, what are you doing?
So they want us to believe that all the money that the government has on stockpile is being allotted to the appropriate areas that it needs to be allotted to, and we're giving money overseas to people that aren't even Americans. Thank God. That's crazy. The fucking country's fucked up. Why you? All right, we're getting away from basketball here, folks. I'm sorry, but it is funny that we're funding foreign dignitaries, and the fucking country over here is fucked up. Anything else, CJ, on sports before we veer into politics? Because I have a lot of opinions about this subject.
I'm good, man. You get your opinions off, man.
Okay. Yeah, that's it for basketball today, everybody. Like we said, this is Fire Fade Away. Early seasoned preseason, free agency, all the good stuff that happened before the season starts, everybody. I am LK, the God, the deity, the mogul. As you can see, we have merch on right now. We have merch available. You can contact me or email FIYAsquadNetwork@gmail.com to contact that, and we will let you know how to get some merch. This has been Fire Fade Away with my co-host C Jizzle, live from Liberty Sizzle, aka Puffco Puppy.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for another episode. Tell someone you love them, gang.